As C.S. Lewis once said, hardships often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary destiny. Hello, my name is Destiny Klimaszowski. My life was unwillingly and unknowingly split into two parts on September 20th, 2014, before and after. Before that monumental life changing date, I was a naive, innocent young girl who had her whole life planned out. I knew exactly what I wanted and what life would be like until life was no longer the way it once was. Through hardships, I grew from a wounded girl that some would say was broken beyond repair to a determined, unstoppable advocate that would change the lives of many people around the world, including my own. You will see that I am proof that hardships do not have to dictate your future. The hardships can prepare you for your extraordinary self that you once were not ready for. My road to self discovery and impactful advocacy began on that fateful, life changing day. Not many people are lucky enough to discover what they want at such a young age and actually get it as well. I knew exactly what I wanted to a T. At the young age of 20, I had nearly everything I had ever dreamt of. I was the wife to Corey, my high school sweetheart, who I met when I was only 15 years old. We got the opportunity to grow up together. I was able to learn how to drive my first car, get my first job, graduate, and even had the opportunity to dream about our futures with him by my side every step of the way. We were always known as Corey and Destiny, but never Corey or Destiny. We were a dynamic duo that nobody could picture apart from one another. We were together for life. I was a shy girl who was perfectly content with living in the shadow of my husband, who seemed to always make the world laugh. Everyone knew who he was, and they knew who I was because of him. Shortly after graduating high school, we got married 2 days after I turned 18. They say when you know, and for us, we knew we'd grow old together. We couldn't imagine life any other way. At the age of 20, we welcomed our sweet baby boy that we named Parker, and he quickly consumed our entire world. He made our world spin and brought us so much happiness we never knew existed. We didn't know it was humanly possible to be this happy. Corey worked extremely hard, allowing me to be a stay at home mom, a gift that I could never repay him for. I got to live a life filled with purpose as I supported my family and their dreams. I was happy and content with being their everything. However, I was also so innocent and naive as well. I always knew bad things could happen to good people, but I never expected it to be me. I played this game called life by a non existent rule book, so much so I was called a goody two shoes. I thought because I lived a life in such a good way that terrible things could never happen to me. And boy, was I wrong. On September 20th, 2014, I lost my innocence and I lost my ability to be content, shy, and naive. On this day, I lost the future I had planned and the destiny the world once knew. It was a Saturday afternoon, shortly after my husband came home from work, just like he always had. We loaded our innocent 15-month-old baby into his rear-facing car seat in our minivan and headed to an appointment. Less than 2 miles from our destination, we were struck at 87 miles per hour by a drunk driver on a rural county road that we had taken many times before. She was a repeat offender. She drove impaired frequently. How did she not know what she was doing? How could she act so selfishly? In that moment, I instantly lost the life of my baby, and 24 hours later, I lost my husband as well. Everything I once knew was gone. At the young age of 21, I became a childless widow who lost the life I once knew and would be required to live underneath a microscope as the world seemed to watch my every move. I no longer had the family I loved with every ounce of my being. I no longer had the minivan we worked so hard to obtain. Never would I get to step foot in the home that held so many memories, and I would never get to be the shy, naive, content Destiny the world once knew. I quickly became a girl that had little will to survive. Could you blame me for not wanting to survive? A girl who became filled with so much anger and a lifetime of pain that was 110% preventable. A girl that the world was watching and waiting to see if I would slip up or live a life to a rulebook that I quickly discovered did not exist. Life didn't have to be this way, and I think that was the hardest part, knowing that it didn't have to be this way. It was preventable. After sitting in my pain and anger, I eventually found a way to turn the anger into purpose to bring change to the world in honor of Corey and Parker. I dug deep, really deep into my soul and found a strength and a voice that I didn't know I was capable of possessing. I was able to discover who Destiny was outside of being Corey's wife and Parker's mom. I discovered that I was, in fact, very resilient, determined, unstoppable, passionate, courageous, and had a strength that I didn't know was humanly possible. I chose bravery as I decided to find love again. I married my incredible husband, Brett, who chose to walk this journey with me. A journey that would leave me forever loving and longing for a life that I once knew, and a life that could create incredible happiness while still being followed by a world of sadness and emptiness, no matter what I did. Brett and I have went on to have two amazing kids. Cohen, who is 5 and is so incredibly caring and smart. If you need a fact about the solar system, this kid has got you covered. He knows so much. He's so smart. And Coraline, who is 3, and she is extremely fierce like myself and knows exactly what she wants. It is hard raising your clone, essentially. I would know because she is it. They know that their baby brother lives in the clouds with his daddy and baby Jesus. It's the only age appropriate response I could think of to explain two influential people in my life that are still a big part of their life as well. Since 2014, 0 law changes have been made in the state of Missouri for the lack of punishments on impaired drivers and those who continue to make the choice to put others' lives at risk while driving impaired. While caring for 2 young children and working full time as my husband frequently works out of town, I decided to pursue a political law degree. I will see a law change in my lifetime. I will not stop fighting until I get it, not just for Corey Parker and myself, but for the other families who were left with irreversible pain and loss due to someone so selfishly getting behind the wheel impaired. While working to change the future, I have also created change and influence for the present. I have co-founded a local chapter of Modern Widows Club that helps widows young and old find a sense of community, find hope, and discover parts of themselves that they too never knew existed. I never want anyone to feel as alone as I did when there's a sea of women who have experienced similar losses to my own. Over 700 local women are a part of our online group, and 30 women meet with us monthly to laugh, share joys, share struggles, hope, and often is hero too. It's inevitable. I have gotten the opportunity through Corey and Parker's love to bless so many kids while raising awareness on the dangers of drinking and driving, or simply just driving impaired. We have donated over 500 filled backpacks to kids in need, donated over 1,200 books and hundreds of toys to children's hospitals, and most recently donated 120 kid bed sets, 105 stuffed animals, and 165 birthday kits, valuing over $10,000 to kiddos that would have not had a birthday party otherwise. I enjoy keeping their memory alive by putting smiles on kiddos' faces that may have a rain cloud lingering over their life. No matter the hardship that you face, I think it's important that you know that it could always be worse. This is something that I think about frequently that allows me to be grateful for what I have and how I have endured what I have. Your hardships can rightfully make you crumble or light a fire that allows you to soar. Life does not have a rule book, and it is important to make every moment count. You never know when that moment will become a memory, and sometimes memories are all you're left with. According to the National Highway Safety Traffic Administration, 2 out of 3 people will be impacted by a drunk driver in their lifetime. Let's be the change the world needs. Let's use our voice and let's make a difference. Together, we can make the change. I'm going to include a couple of videos of my husband and son that did pass away. And then after that slide, I'm also going to include a picture of our vehicle. So if that is too much for you to see, feel free to end the video now. But I figured that is something that some of you would want to see, and I wanted to make that option available. So stay tuned.